So welcome. We're gonna talk a bit about the update, and we got some exciting news today. We got new best in slots items for knights, paladins, mages, of course, boots for the mages, legs for paladins and knights, and everyone will get a new, cool, awesome weapon. So they basically want us to run in and die. Fair Force bosses will be hard. No changes to the Forge this summer update. That's huge. It's gonna affect their profit and they're gonna be mad. I can see why they do it, but I don't like it. However, people are probably gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but I believe that it's a good thing.
Tibiablackjack. Play now and win many Tibia coins. Blackjack, roulette, crash game, and high-low. Plus the chance of winning 250 Tibia coins every week. All provably fair games. Link on the description.
We don't really know much about it, except for it's a drop and might be a reward in a quest as well. So there's a new place with 4 different, let's call them segments. Like it's gonna be one segment up here, one there, and one there, and you're gonna go EXP in this place to get access to the boss. To recharge this bar that you get, you have to hunt around 30 minutes in this place. Alright? Awesome. So we don't really know what type of weapons we're gonna get, but we want to get a 200 ice weapon club with 3 imbue slots. That would be amazing. But I'm fine with physical as well, as long as it's not earth damage, okay? We don't want earth damage. No earth damage, okay? As a 2-handed weapon with 3 imbue slots. Another cool thing would be if we got a 1-handed weapon, best in slot, for 600 plus with 3 imbue slots. I think that's gonna be awesome if we got that. I mean, for level 600 plus with 3 imbue slots, that's pretty okay. It's pretty okay. It's definitely gonna be a new best in slots. We're gonna check on the website what we can get. We are getting some new cool pictures. Looks like he's standing over the blood. I'm not gonna read this. It's a sanguine tide. Yeah, Hurricane might call. From rot to riches is what the teaser is called. So I'm guessing like the new spawning things, new hunting places. One of each domain. All in all, it looks pretty cool. I'm a bit sad that we reused the rot elemental, water elemental sprite again. So if we go checking the comments, there will be a rotten blood dynamic high risk high reward hunting experience. Kind of cool. It's a end game spawn, which is totally fine. We got a lower level spawn, lower/medium level spawn earlier, okay? And now we also got a high level spawn. Dynamic also means that they added a kind of fail safe, so you can't really boost low level players, because lower level players will take a lot of damage here. So it's pretty cool. We are getting new best in slots weapon for all vocations, knights, paladins, and boots for sorcerers, and legs as well. Torquada from the Inquisition is now waiting for fierce warriors to vanquish the threat lurking in buried sanctum in Drefia. So it's gonna be in Drefia, Darashia. Probably gonna be a broken spawn. They're gonna take way too long to nerf it, and someone's gonna get rich. Definitely. So we're gonna get an underground hub connecting 4 demanding hunting grounds. Kinda similar, I suppose, to Soul Wars, how it's built. And this is what I talked about. To support this focus, these ghastly monsters deal extra damage to a character below a certain level. However, Zip didn't tell us what level it would be. They just said that you're gonna have to find out on the test server. I'm guessing players around level 600 is going to be fine. The new items are for level 600 and above. It will be a difficulty harder than Soul Wars with Taints, also reasonable. The monsters in each hunting spawn will have 2 main elements and 1 extra damage element. So Jaded Roots, you get Earth Physical with some fire. Putrefactory, we get Death, Ice, Energy. Gloom Pillars, Holy Fire, Earth. Darklight Core, Energy and Physical. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? It doesn't really matter. You would need some different imbued armors anyways. And what would matter is probably how good it's gonna be for the EK to use certain defensive equipment. We get new monsters, we get new hunting grounds, but we also get some core mechanics added to the game, and I really like some of these. We get Jaded Roots, which is a chance of spawning a decaying totem upon the death of a monster. This totem sets off 4 consecutive ring spells, expanding ripples, each of them dealing considerable amount of damage before it vanishes. Pretty cool. So it's gonna be like boop, boop, boop. Nice. Putrefactory, indestructible rotating totems that are scattered in this hunting ground. Okay, so there's gonna be totems everywhere, I suppose. They do waves. If a creature dies near the totem, the damage that is dealt through the totem increases. So if you kill monsters near these totems, the totem will do a lot of damage. I think that might be able to be abused on some servers, I think. Alright, Gloom Pillars, especially on no PvP servers, like you could definitely make no one hunt in a certain spawn, or hunt suboptimally, I suppose. So we get Gloom Pillars as well. Character absorb dark energy. If the dark energy of a character reaches a certain number of charges, a painful chain spell triggers on the top of the character, dealing agony damage. If there are other characters nearby, the spell will chain up to 5 targets with increasing agony damage. So this one will be a really rough if you trigger it. And Darklight Core will be creatures can put dark field below characters. It can be compared to a fire field, but it deals way more agony damage instead. A dark field can only be destroyed through destroy field rune, but will always inflict damage on the initial target. So it's gonna be really rough, a rough one. But I like these changes. Like, I think that it's pretty cool to add certain mechanics in certain spawns. Each hunting ground will have a boss, and you can kill this boss every 20 hours, which is really nice. If you have accumulated enough rotten charge in the corresponding hunting ground. As an example, to fight the boss in Jaded Roots, you need to accumulate rotten charge within Jaded Roots, which is reasonable. You can just rush these bosses. You need to actually prepare or do them in the middle of a hunt or whatever, but I think this is fair. The rotten charge increases slowly on its own while you're in their hunting ground, but it takes around 30 minutes, they say, to do access part, okay? In each hunting ground, though, there's gonna be mechanics you can do to speed it up, so it's probably gonna be like a pre-quest. And I'm thinking in Asura's Palace, you need to kill the cave hydra and destroyers and stuff like that to get access to the boss. I suppose if you went into Asura's Palace and hunt for 30 minutes, you're gonna get access to the bosses, and then you don't have to kill the hydras, for example. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna work something like that. You need to slay the 4 bosses to open the path to the source of foulness. So it's gonna be, you're gonna have to do all 4 bosses before you can do the main boss. And they say it's far greater dangers looming ahead. Will be really interesting. So we're gonna get more information about Bangkok, Taint and Burden. This is probably the quest. Bakragor's Burden. So, best equipment will have a new minimum level. Yeah, level 600. The new area will be extremely difficult and requires a high level team to be able to survive. We don't really know what Zip is referring to when it comes to high level team, but I think it's probably 800 to 900 plus. Can you tell us which levels are excluded from the dynamic level door? We prefer to keep this a secret because we love secrets and we want to see how players handle it without knowing exactly what to expect. So they basically want us to run in and die. And go on a higher level character and run in and die, I suppose. Yeah. The monsters will use those mechanics at some points. Stay tuned. Okay. So we're gonna have root, fear, and so on. We'll have a best in-slot weapon for Paladin that is better than Soul Bleeder, Soul Piercers. It will be a situational item, or will it be better than both weapons in all situations? Well, they said that the new best in-slot weapons and gear will have better stats than the existing ones. They will also have sanguine powers, and we don't really know what sanguine powers is. I feel like it's some sort of extra imbuement, or what I'm thinking is on the soul weapons we get extra crit, right? Or permanent life leech. It could be something like that. I think it would be cool if we got something like, oh, you right click and use the item and it's gonna be turned into a blue one, and then you shoot ice damage instead, or something like that. That would be pretty cool, but we don't really know. So whether or not how much they exceed a tiered Soul Bleeder, for example, it's up to you to try it out on the test server. Okay. You can only increase your charge in the actual hunting ground. That's pretty good to know. Is it possible to freely adjust difficulty? You will be able to remove taints every 68 hours. Okay, so every 3 days. We will see if there's another hunting ground inside after the first four bosses. They will release more information about that, if it's an extremely hard place after that, but we're gonna see. Yeah, the first bosses will be hard. We don't know if they drop the new best in slot, any new best in slot gear, but it's gonna be a final boss, so similar to Soul Wars. And I would think the last boss would be the one that got the best in slot gear. This place will be connected to Darashia. Yeah, the area is Northern Darashia. Northern Darama, sorry. So that could be Drefia, I think. Doesn't necessarily have to be in like the Minotaur Tower. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Someone asked if we will be getting level 600 on the test server. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but we don't intend to let the test server assistant give you levels to 600 or higher. We need players who are experienced in playing with a high level in Soul War and Gnome Prona. I think that's gonna like narrow down the spawn on the hunting testers. But I really hope those high levels go on the test server and try it out and give feedback. No changes to the Forge this summer update. That's huge. That means that they have probably another plan for combating inflation. So the rewards will be random, and there will be weapons for every night skill, both one-handed and two-handed. That's cool. We get a bow and a crossbow for paladins, rod and wand for mages, and gear it's legs for knights, legs for paladin, boots for druid, boots for sorcerer. More information later. Alright. All new information about the best in slot items will be revealed in our final teaser. I think it's a bit weird that they say we're gonna get best in slot items to hype it up. I feel like they do this sometime and then the next teaser is gonna change something that we as a player don't like, so that they can go back and say, oh, you're gonna get best in slot items, so it's okay to do this nerf. And I think that has to do with the inflation. because people are gonna get pissed. I think. Yeah, Tibians usually are when you remove something that they like, and Tibians like to make money, even if the coin prices goes up, you know, it's gonna affect their profit, and they're gonna be mad. How to get the new items will be given later. Sure, there will be a few differences to Soul War and non-Prona. They have no plans to let players choose which item they want to obtain. Test server will be available for Mac users. Yeah, I think weapons will give some kind of power, and boots some kind of power. If you have them both, you get 2 new things. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So kind of like a set tier set in World of Warcraft. Yeah. So if you have both the weapon and the boots, or weapon and legs, you're gonna have increased power. Gonna have this much sanguine power. Yeah, no, would be kind of cool with set bonuses. Yeah. Blackjack is the root of the rotten evil that has defiled the once hallowed halls of Blood God's temple, Lord of Sanguine Tides. The lore will be told through the quest and of course books you can find in game. I won't spill the beans here, but apart from saying that it's a very good story. Alright, I'm gonna have to look that up. It's 5 new bosses. Yeah, so we got that correct. The monster reference level is intended to ensure that characters below this reference have a very hard time surviving here. Yeah, that's reasonable. The further they are below this threshold, the higher damage the monster would deal to them. But I wonder if there's a possibility to do the pre-quest without taking any damage. If so, then they can just do a character service anyways. So we'll have to see about that. So we're gonna get a beautiful bouquet of monsters, including range one. Yeah, in Rotten Blood there are 16 regular creatures, some of them being relatives. Okay, what wandering pillar, walking pillar. Oh, 16 monsters in one spawn. I mean, sure, it's good for bestiary, but charms, boost works, but charms, praise. I don't like this. I really don't like having that much different creatures in a spawn. But it said they're gonna be real hard, so I suppose adding a lot of monsters makes it so that it's hard, because you can't have dodge or defense prey on it. I can see why they do it, but I don't like it. So these new best in slots, will we be able to give our opinion on the elements on the test server, or you already decided? Well, it depends on the quality of the feedback. Yeah, can totally understand. And the points raised among other things factor in when making decisions. Yeah, if the points brought up are coherent and understandable, and if reasonable suggestions are made, we may consider changes. Yeah, but that, like always, I suppose. That's why you have a test server. Obviously, posting something like change it to X because that would be better is not constructive feedback, guys. Don't do that. Will the new best in slot item have a higher classification than the existing of class 4? No. And this is huge. Like, the classification of tier 4 means that if you are crazy enough to have a tier 5 weapon, you could transfer it to a tier 4 of the new one. So it's still a way to keep your you can tier up your new wand or new weapon if you want, but you don't have to, but you could. So that's good. It's a good reuse of the forge. However, people are probably gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but it's I believe that it's a good thing that it's classification 4. That's everything we got so far. I really like this, but as I said, I think it's more of a teaser than a real teaser. So to summarize, we're gonna get 4 new hunting spawns for high levels that is located in Darashia. We're gonna get best in slots items for everyone, and the new items will have sanguine powers. And as always, if you liked the video and you want me to cover this update, leave a like so that I know you liked it. And If you wanna see the first teaser, you should check the video on screen right now. Until next time, guys. See ya.